Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my Thanksgiving video. I know for sure last year, I'm not sure if I have in the years past, but I know you can go back and look at my last year's video. Last year I did just a recipe video for Thanksgiving. I think I did like a appetizer, a couple side dish ideas, and a dessert idea, I believe. So you can go back and look at that video. But in today's video, for this Thanksgiving video, I am sharing with you an appetizer idea, a side dish idea, and then a dessert idea for Thanksgiving. And then I'm also going to be sharing with you like a kid's craft that I did with my boys. And then I'm going to share with you a fairly simple tablescape idea that you guys could do. Most of this stuff is just stuff that I had on hand, and I was able to come up with a tablescape idea. So just giving you guys a few ideas to help you out. I know Thanksgiving is coming up this week. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I am going to make baked brie with apples and walnuts, but I will not be having walnuts on mine since I do not care for walnuts. But if you like them, I will make sure while I'm going through this recipe to let you know when you will want to add them and what you'll want to do with them and things like that. But anyways, you're going to first start by preheating your oven to 375 degrees. You are also going to want to have ready an oven-safe 2.5 cup capacity brie baker or a shallow baking dish. All right, next you are going to want to take 4 tart crisp red apples, peel them, and then cut them into pieces about 1/2 inch diced. Note, this is not quite 4 apples. I actually did 3 here. I am making this recipe myself just a little bit less than the actual recipe is calling for. So just so you know, while you're watching me make this recipe, this isn't quite as much as this recipe calls for. But anyways, so here are my apples. Next, we are going to add a tablespoon of unsalted butter to a pan. All right, and then as soon as this butter is melted in your pan, you will then add your apples, and you're just going to stir to coat them in the butter, and then you're going to saute them for about 5 minutes or until the apples are slightly softened. All right, once your apples have softened, you're going to raise the heat to medium-high, and then you're going to stir in 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a generous pinch of kosher salt. And you are just going to stir that and allow to simmer rapidly for 3 to 5 minutes, stirring often until the sauce appears sticky and adheres to the apples. All right, once your sauce has thickened, you're going to slowly add in a 1/4 teaspoon of heavy whipping cream that has been set to room temperature. And you'll just slowly drizzle that in and give it a good stir. And then this is when you would add in your chopped walnuts. You'll add in about 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. You'll stir those in, and then you're going to remove this from the heat and set aside until you're ready to use. Okay, so then you're going to want to place your brie into your baking dish. And like I said, this recipe calls for more than what I'm doing. The recipe calls for 16 ounces of brie. I believe this is 8 ounces of brie. So you'll also want to remove the rind from the brie. And obviously if you have more brie than I do, it won't fit into this dish so nicely. So you'll need to, if you need to cut your brie or whatever, however you need to get it to fit into this dish, that is what you are going to want to do. And then you're going to spoon your apples, walnuts, and sauce across the top of the brie, and then you will bake for 15 minutes or until the brie is bubbly and melted. All right, so here is my brie out of the oven. You are going to want to serve this alongside some crackers or toast points and enjoy. Alright, so I'm making cheesy keto cauliflower au gratin casserole, and to make this you're going to want to preheat your oven to 375, and then you are going to want to spray a casserole dish. Then you're going to want to layer about 2 cups of cauliflower into the bottom of your casserole dish. Alright, you're then going to want to put your put 1 cup of shredded cheese on there. The recipe calls for, I think it's Swiss Gruyere cheese. I'm just using cheddar Gruyere cheese, and then I'm also using some Colby and Monterey Jack. So this is like a half a cup of this shredded and a half a cup of this shredded. So that's what's on mine. Alright, next you're going to slice about 4 green onions and put that on the top, and then season with some salt and pepper. Okay, so then on top of that you're going to add another 2 cups of cauliflower, and then you're going to add another cup of your shredded cheese, and then you're also going to add 1.5 cups of heavy cream, and then next you're going to want to put some tin foil over the top of your baking dish. Alright, so you'll put this in your preheated oven for 30 minutes, take the foil off, bake for 40 minutes or until the cauliflower is fork tender. Alright, once it's out of the oven, you'll just let it set for 5 minutes and then you can serve. I am making flaky apple turnovers, and to get started with this recipe, you are going to want to wash, core, peel, and slice or dice about 1 pound of apples. You then want to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Alright, once your butter is melted, you are going to just add your apples, and then you're going to want to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla paste or vanilla extract, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and you're just going to want to cook this until the sauce is thickened. Alright, you're then going to roll out 14 ounces of puff pastry on a floured surface and cut into 6 large squares. Alright, you're then going to put a spoonful of your apple filling onto each square. You will then fold over each corner. You then want to brush an egg wash over the top with some sugar that you'll just sprinkle over the top of each one as well. Alright, then you're going to want to freeze these for about 10 minutes. Alright, once these have been in your freezer for 10 minutes, you are going to then want to bake them at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Alright, so here they are out of the oven. Alright, and then you can just serve this with a scoop of ice cream and some caramel sauce, and then enjoy. Okay, so for this craft, you're just going to need one of these paper plates, and then either you or your child could make a little turkey body and face, like I did, out of some construction paper. And then the other thing you're going to need is just some feathers, and then you'll just have your kid glue the feathers onto this plate to give your turkey some feathers. here are the boys' finished turkeys. This one is Jordan's, and this one is Hunter's. Alright you guys, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!